So this is presented to us. This is clearly the ramblings of somebody that's mentally ill. But technicals didn't like Leffen, and we looked at this. I remember Nick taking this to me. He's like, listen to this, and we're fucking laughing. We're laughing our ass off. Like, how can we pretend to take this fucking seriously? And later on, we were pretended. He expected us to pretend to take the zero thing seriously, because you can't. I'm sorry, technicals is smart. He's creative. He's funny. He's not an idiot. I can't believe he listened to this and thought it was good and thought it was true. He listened to this knowing that HAX was a popular player and it might move the needle. Didn't care if it was true. And that's the same thing with Zero. A couple months ago, poor HAX walked in front of a train. Which limb did he lose? His legs?
Leg, I think. Yeah.
Leg? Yeah, very tragic, very tragic. Okay. And it apparently was all over him wanting to get back in the community, right? He wanted to get back in the community, which he was banned from. And this is why he was banned from it. And this is just, if you guys got a better time slot, I totally want to watch it with you. This is why he was banned from the community. And this is the lightest version. There's other crazy shit in here too. I didn't have time to go through it all.
I'm not happy until every aspect of godhood is like torn away and there's only one god, and that's me.
When interviewed in 2015, Leffen made it clear that he was intent on becoming the one true god of Melee, and that he wouldn't be satisfied until every aspect of godhood was torn to shreds. This made for great entertainment at the time, and so people didn't stop to consider the real meaning behind it. The biggest red flag,
but HAX knew.
Of all, however, is something that no one would have ever guessed. Many studies have shown that one's personality can accurately be inferred from their social media avatar. If you think about the process that goes into choosing an avatar, this is obviously true. People will often use avatars of anime characters that represent their inner beliefs, which is why I need to raise an issue with something. Why did Leffen used to use an avatar of Light Yagami from Death Note back in 2016?
Maybe he likes Death Note. I don't know, but no.
If you understand who Light Yagami is, then it makes all too much sense when you consider everything else that I've told you. Light is a brilliant high school student on the outside, but an infamous political criminal on the inside, whose goal is to become the god of the new world. He's able to remain undetected for many years by outwitting everyone in his way. Essentially, Death Note is the story of a totalitarian regime that ends up casting darkness over the entire planet. The story that's unraveling right before our very eyes is strikingly similar to Death Note.
All right, you heard what he just said, that last sentence. Clearly, this guy's fucking ill. And it's not funny. It's actually not funny. I mean, it's funny the shit that he's saying because it's so off the fucking wall. But it's not funny that somebody's that ill. Can we agree on that? We get a one in the chat for that? I wouldn't want my fucking brother or somebody I loved to be that scrambled. Would you? Do you ever watch one of your relatives get dementia? Doesn't it suck? Their soul gets sucked away. It sucks. It sucks. HAX was clearly mentally ill. This thing, this evidence of .zip, this trash, this ramblings of somebody, a mental illness, was presented to my community, not to me directly, but to Nick and to Willie as something that was great because, I don't know, and I don't even know why, Leffen, apparently he's a super woke jerk-off asshole, was a wise ass 10 years ago. That's it. He was a wise ass, a prick, an esports douchebag. With one of the things that esports is lacking, and I've noticed for the last 20 years, is sportsmanship, actual sport. Like the stuff on the field did not transfer to the video game pros. They have a real lack of sportsmanship. Not all of them, but there's a few. There's more than a few. I watch some esports meltdowns out there. So this is presented to us as this is a really good video. And we were all, for technicals, we were all supposed to get behind this. This shit's so fucking crazy They don't want him at
petition
tournaments.
is donated $5. Losing your loved one to dementia sucks. Wanna donate
Oh
to
my
my
God.
charity? Also, fuck Mutter.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
Thanks for donating to
God.
mine. The completionist. So, like, so when this is presented to us, this is clearly the ramblings of somebody that's mentally ill. But technicals didn't like Leffen, and we looked at this. I remember Nick taking this to me. He's like, listen to this, and we're fucking laughing. We're laughing our ass off. Like, how can we pretend to take this fucking seriously? And later on, we were pretended. He expected us to pretend to take the Zero thing seriously, which Zero is certainly a creep.
We
Technicals
do have
is
somebody in waiting to call.
sure. Who's that? Who be that? Okay, hold on a second.
Jeez.
Technicals is celebrating. I'll pull you after this because I already started a new segment. Technicals is celebrating right now. HAX was nothing but a pawn in Technical's eye to be used for his own benefit. No joke. There is perhaps one who did more to make sure HAX was never unbanned than Technicals. Now, I got one problem with this statement, but I can understand why this Haja guy came to this conclusion. I got one problem. I got one minor problem. I do not think, call me crazy, that allowing HAX back to these tournaments, and by the way, they were doing the responsible thing, because this video, the shit I just, it gets crazier, right? The responsible thing to do was to keep HAX out of those tournaments because he was clearly emotionally unhinged by no fault of his own. He was nobody's fault. So I could see how people are looking at Technicals, and Technicals was the one that was pushing evidence.zip. He didn't care if it was true. He didn't care if this guy was actually mentally ill. He didn't care at all. He pushed it. He wanted us to push this when he broke into our community. He wanted us to push it too. And then he wanted us to push the Zero. He wanted us to push the lies. He wanted us to push crazy shit. Because I you know what? I don't know what Technical's motivation was. I'm not going to speculate. Maybe it was just YouTube. Maybe it was just views. Maybe it was, who cares? Well, who cares what his motivation was? He wanted us to push a bunch of horse shit. That's exactly what happened here. No joke. There's nobody did more to make sure HAX was never unbanned than Technicals. All right. You know what? That's probably true. And you know what? He shouldn't have been unbanned because unless he got some kind of help or something, and unfortunately for him, all the help he ever got didn't seem to work. Some people are dead set on killing themselves. I don't know what happened in this last thing. I don't know how he ended up in a ventilator. There's been nothing out. I guess is what you told me. His mother said he died of a broken heart. That usually means suicide.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know that he's mentally ill and nobody cared. Like Technicals. You retards think my 5D chess food was to start a community-wide movement to unban HAX just so he wouldn't kill himself. That's not what they're saying at all. What they're saying is you pushed you complimented his mental illness. You gave in to, you told him, HAX, what you're doing here is great, and not HAX, buddy, please don't release that. That's right, Technicals. That's what the problem was. You weren't a friend. Use Zero and use this guy too. Absolutely. And I can see, I don't know who cares what your motivations were. And so you framing it as a 5D chess move or a conspiracy theory, you did it. You took this crazy shit.
The Death Note is a book that can be used to issue death sentences simply by writing someone else's name down. Should this tool fall into the wrong hands, it would terrorize an entire society. The funny thing is, Leffen is basically trying to turn his phone into the Death Note. Through the use of modern technology and a good understanding of crowd psychology, it's actually possible to create a Death Note nowadays, and people need to be wary of that.
You said that was legit. We were all supposed to pretend, because we were your new friends, that was anything other than the ramblings of somebody who was mentally ill and needed help. You passed it off like it wasn't mentally ill, like it was good. I remember seeing your tweets when I followed you. Boy, HAX got Leffen now. Hey, Technicals, did he get him now? How's he doing now? You idiot. So, hey, if you're going to sit there and take the fucking heat, if you're going to take the heat for what you did, and the community's going to turn on you, deal with it. Deal with it. I got to deal with some of the stupid shit I've said over the years and done. So should you. You back to fucking the zero, which was completely unfucking necessary by your own words. I can't work miracles here, which is a revealing statement, by the way. And you back this poor guy who needed help. He didn't do it. And one thing I won't do, which I'm sure is going to be done, and it's going. I think it's part of the punishment, I suppose, for technicals, whatever his motivations are. I really don't know. I am so easy to speculate on people's motivations on YouTube. I don't know what his motivations were. I have no idea. None. Zero zip. I know they don't matter. Because you can't, I'm sorry, Technicals is smart. He's creative. He's funny. He's not an idiot. I can't believe he listened to this and thought it was good and thought it was true. He listened to this knowing that HAX was a popular player and it might move the needle. Didn't care if it was true. And that's the same thing with Zero. The exact same thing. Technicals is probably one of the most repulsive YouTubers, and I've worked with a few, that I've ever met. Absolutely repulsive. Remember, this was all avoidable if you freaks had 1 ounce of compassion. Are you pulling that card? Don't you think for a second I'm going to let you forget it? Oh, you're going to go on a revenge spree? Well, put me in your fucking video. I'd be interested to do that. Go ahead. I'm going to let you forget it. Who the fuck are you, Technicals? Really? You're just some guy on YouTube that said some guy that thought he was talking to a 14-year-old. If he was or he wasn't, we'll never know, to put ice in her pussy. And you're a guy that took a mentally ill dude and told him he was doing stuff that was great when it wasn't great. You lied to him. You lied to us. You lied to your fans. You're a liar. This is bullshit. You know, you're never going to forget, ooh, he's going to get revenge. Sounds like a crash out to me. I'm going to do a video update on HAX stuff, and the money will go towards his family. But I need to work on something first so I don't just crash out. Send me anything of note if you find it. Well, send him this. I don't think Technicals is responsible for HAX's suicide. The same way I don't believe Keemstar was responsible for, what was that kid's name? Kid that jumped off the bridge in New York?
Etika?
No, Etika. I don't think this helped, though. And I don't know. I'm not going to even speculate what his motivations are, because that's what he wants you to do, so it sounds like a conspiracy theory. I don't care. It was stupid. It was dishonest. And I'm glad that you've been... Actually, now people outside the Spanish community see you that way. And that's your own doing. Good and goodbye.